In this video, we would see how to access the GitHub server repositories using HTTPS protocol. Here we'll see how to access the GitHub repositories using HTTPS protocol, and we'll see how to disable the Git credential manager which pops up when we access the remote repository using HTTPS. And we'll see how to set up the personal access token in the GitHub repository for accessing via HTTPS, and also we'll see how to resolve the issue of 403 when we try to clone and push the data to remote repositories. So this is the first part. In the second part, we'll also see how to store the credentials using Git credential helper. So let us start. For this demo, we will use an example repository, my test repo, which is created under my user ID. So to access this via HTTPS, so we have to click on code here. So once we click on, we have to select HTTPS. Then we have to copy this URL. So let me copy this. So now let us try to clone this repository in our client machine. So for client, I have already installed Git Bash. So let me open Git Bash in my machine. So this is the Git client. So now I am in this directory. So now I'll try to clone our example repository in this directory. So for that, we'll use git clone command. So let us copy the repository. So here a new pop-up is opened when we execute the git clone command. This pop-up is related to Git credential manager. So this means when we execute Git commands which needs the credentials, this pop-up will open and we have to enter our credentials. If we don't want to enter the credentials using this pop-up, then we have to disable this. So for disabling this credential manager, we have to open the Git Bash in admin mode. So let me open as an administrator. So we have to run as an administrator. So we have to edit the configuration corresponding to credential helper. So for that, let us open git config, and we have to provide at system level, and we have to provide edit option. So now we have to remove this helper is equal to manager. So once we remove this part, then this pop-up will not be opened whenever we execute the git commands. So let us remove this. So I have removed helper is equal to manager. Let me save this file. So now we have changed the configuration at the system level. So here I am closing this. So now I will reopen Git Bash in a different session. So here I am opening the Git Bash in a different session using a normal user. So I'll try to clone again. This time the credential manager pop-up did not open because we have disabled the credential manager. So here we are seeing one more error, unable to read ask pass response from false. We can disable this message as well. So let me enter Ctrl+C here. So for this we need to change the configuration at user level. So for that, let me open config. Here we have to provide global and edit. So here we need to remove this false. So let me save this file. So the configuration is changed now. So let us clone the repository again. So this time we did not get this error message. So now let us enter the username and password. So enter the user ID and the password. So now when we enter the username and password, it is saying that the support for password authentication is removed. So instead of password, we need to use the authentication token provided by GitHub. So for getting the token, so we need to go to the profile. So here we need to go to settings. So here we need to click on developer settings. So then we have to select the personal access tokens. So here we can generate the token. So let me select fine grained tokens here. So generate a new token. So let me enter the password. So here we can provide the token details. So let me provide the name as my token. So here we can provide the expiration days, like how long we can keep this token valid. So I will use the default 30 days here. So we can enter the description here. So here we need to provide the repository access. So here I am selecting all repositories. So here we need to select the permissions for a particular repository or the account level. So here I am not selecting any of the permissions. So let us generate the token. So now the token is generated. We will use this token in place of password. So let us copy this token. So let us go back to Git bash session. So let us clone the repository again. So enter the username. So now we need to provide the personal access token here. So now it is saying the right access to the repository is not granted, and it is saying we are unable to access the repository, and also it is providing the error 403. So that means we need to provide the required permissions on the repository. So let us do that. So now let us provide the required access on this repository for the token whatever we have created. So for that, let us go to the settings again. So go to the developer settings, click on access tokens and click on fine grained tokens. So we have to select our token. So here we need to provide the repository access. So let us edit the permissions here. So in this we need to select the repository. So this is our repository. So now select the repository permissions. So here for the content section, I will provide read and write access for the token. So now let us save this. So now we have provided the required permissions. So let us execute the clone again. So here we need to enter the token. So now we can see that we did not get any error now. So we are able to successfully clone our project in the GitHub. So here I'll try to add a new file. So here I'm creating a test file. Let us add this file. And we have to commit the file as well. So now we have to push our branch to remote repository. So for that I will use git push command. And I need to specify the branch name as main. So here it is asking the username again. So let us enter the username. And also we need to enter the token. So now we are able to successfully the file to the remote repository. So let us verify in the remote repository. So let us select our repository now. So here we can see that a new file is added to the remote repository. So in this video, we have seen how to access the GitHub repositories using HTTPS protocol. So here we are able to resolve some of the issues which occurred while accessing the repository. But still we have one more problem. So here when we are executing git commands, so every time it needs to access the repository, so it is asking for the username and password. So we have to enter the username password every time we access the remote repository. So to resolve this problem, so we have to save these credentials so that we can use them when we access the remote repository using HTTPS protocol every time. There are different ways to store the credentials. So we'll discuss more about how to store these credentials and how we can use while accessing the remote repository in the next video. I hope this video will help you. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching.